1975. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to Portland. First time they've ever been here, so a little love for the
thanks.
first stop.
Portland, no.
What happened at the border? You were a little bit late. Did you get cuffed and stuffed and pulled
Oh
up?
yeah, they don't like tattoos and kind of just be like that, like whoa, 5 in the morning. 5 in the morning, they always. That's when we always have to cross. It was all right. They were actually all right with us.
Yeah.
I'd probably give us a bit of a harder time if it was just 10 people all wearing all black at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's not really.
Yeah, that always does kind of look suspect.
Yeah, exactly.
And you got guitar cases, so
Yeah,
double
exactly.
trouble, right?
For sure.
Tonight over at the beautiful Doug Fir Lounge, and the self-titled album came out this year. Congratulations on the album.
Thank you.
That's not an easy task, and it's been a hell of a year for you. I'm sure it's been a bit of a whirlwind. So let's just recap a little bit. So you released the album, and then remind me again where it debuted in the UK.
Number 1.
Number 1. That's very well done.
Thanks.
That's
You knew where it debuted. You just made me say it.
I know. I'm going to milk one more question. So then in July, you were playing at a show, and you were opening for a band, and I can't remember the name of that band. The band was...
The Rolling Stones.
The Rolling Stones. I'm sorry. That's terrible, terrible setup. But that's kind of cool. Did you get a meet? We've had Tom Odell in here, and he did the same, and also Jake Bugg.
He pulled out because he was too poorly.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he was too ill, and then they asked us to go on stage twice, and we were like, no. That's mental.
Yeah.
It was really good, though. It was a really nice day. Jagger was there doing selfies of us on this side of the stage. We were in
Really?
the background. That was really cool.
That's got to be such Mick Jagger was on
Yeah,
the
well, Chocolate's like his favourite song of the year. Like, he tried to get us to play at his birthday party, and we couldn't do it. And then so when we started playing Chocolate, this figure just kind of ran in. He was loving it. It was so good. He was like, gave Ross a wave, like the most Jagger wave ever. He was like, and it was just really, it was a really nice day, yeah. But Tom Odell was sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, bless him.
Yeah, bless him.
He's nice. I like him.
That's
He's
good.
nice.
No, he is a good guy. He was a good guy. So I want to go back a little bit and talk about the naming of your band. And I don't want to ask like, how did you come up with your band? Because you've done that 1,000 times, and if you want to tell a story, that's fine. But what's interesting to me is the record label or some management said, no, you don't name the band a number.
Yeah.
There's never been a band that's had a number that's been successful.
Exactly. And I said, that's a red rag to a bull.
Yeah.
Which is like,
Yeah.
don't tell somebody who's very, very kind of controlling that they're not allowed to do something because it'll provoke them to do the antithesis, which is why I got this tattoo. Yeah, they said, oh, no, you can't call the band 1975. And I was like, okay. But then I tattooed it on me, and I was like, well, we have to now.
Yeah, you're stuck with it.
So it was a good way of getting around it.
And then I tried to do a little research on bands with numbers, and they were right.
There's not that many. There's not that many that have been, apart from U2. But ours is actually a number, a recognisable number. I don't really know. I don't really care.
Who cares? And so be it from here on out, the 1975. Your parents are actors?
My parents are actors, yeah.
Successful actors?
Successful
and
actors.
The story that I heard, the interview that you did, is that your father used to run with some musicians. When I say run, was buddies, would hang out with them.
Yeah.
Who were those musicians? Because some of them were pretty successful, the story that I had heard. And then
Dire Straits and Thin Lizzy and people like that, like ELO. My godfather's in ELO.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad was like there's a program in the UK called Our Wiedersehen Pet, which came around at the late 80s when there was a big like subsidisation of industry in the UK. And he became, because the show was about the political strife at the time, he became very much like a political figurehead. And then he was cool, like in the 80s. So all his mates were just rock stars. So when I was a kid, I was like, well, I just want to be like my dad's mates. It wasn't a world away from me to like think to being in a band, for that to be condoned or endorsed, whether it's financially or it's just through kind of support through your family. It was a realistic thing for me. So here I am.
Not total fantasy. Did any of those guys kick down a little help along the way, or was?
Yeah, Mark Knopfler's always been really nice with us. That steel guitar, the Romeo and Juliet guitar, was the first guitar I ever played, which is cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, that we've had a lot of support, but it's also harder to be in an alternative band when your parents are accepted by the mainstream in the UK, because you have predetermined ideas of what people are like based on what their parents are, which isn't fair.
No.
So I had to just ignore it. No one knew about my parents until our album was out. So I was quite proud of that as well.
No, that is, yeah. I'd always have to kind of have that shadow you wherever you go.
Yeah, for sure, but I don't, whatever.
Whatever, that's right. Tonight at the Doug Fur, the album is out. It is self-titled, The 1975. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys.
Oh, thanks. We're going to keep playing, I think.